Okay, today we're talking about March the 6th. We're still in Nelson, and we had a very leisurely morning getting up. And when we did finally get up, we went down to the coffee shop and had coffee. And isn't that when we sat across from the fellow from New Zealand? The farmer?
I don't remember. It was either that day or the next.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was that day because the next day was busy getting ready to go.
You're right.
So, and we sat across, people shared tables, so we sat across from a fellow who had been a farmer up near the thermal pools most of his life, and sheep, I think, and he had moved to Hanmer Springs. He had a daughter in Canada, and he was just very friendly and talkative about his country and asked about us, so it was very interesting. Jim showed him where Michigan was. He was impressed with the Great Lakes. So it was lovely, just lovely to make that connection. And he was so friendly. Anything else you want to say about that?
It was just a pleasant morning. We've noticed that the sea across the road here is much calmer in the early morning and in the late afternoon. Mm-hmm. And so it's a time when they take out the canoes. Canoes here are not like the canoes at home. They're long and they're really narrow, and these are one person wakas, if you will, mm-hmm. and they've got an outrigger mm-hmm. on them. And so these are racing one-person mm-hmm. wakas or canoes.
Yeah, and they had them in Hawaii too, and they used them in the big waves.
Yeah, right.
So that was interesting.
Anyways, so we saw them going out, and we went back down by Raglan's Roast to a little stand that sells seafood.
Oh yeah, it was one of the highest rating fish and chips place in Nelson on TripAdvisor.
And Terry ordered us a flounder.
Flounder.
To eat.
Yeah, you know, they're kind of thin, and it was deep fried and different, very different. Delicious. Not as much meat in one spot, so you had to work to get that meat off, but it was delicious.
Yeah. And so, having fed ourselves, we then decided we were going to look around Nelson some more, and so we went to a walk that's in a city park. Mm-hmm. It's called the Center of New Zealand, and it's in an area called the Botanic Hills. And so the walk was like a kilometer long, but it was all uphill.
Straight uphill.
Yeah, up and up and up.
Oh my God.
Until we got to this observation point, and we could look out over the city and the sea. It was very pretty, and then we got to walk down and down and down and down. Mm-hmm.
And I think that I had 20 flights of stairs on my watch from that day.
Yeah, it was good. And then we went back, we came back here and rested for just a little bit, and then walked across the road to the park with the beach there. Mm-hmm. And we walked a long ways out.
A long ways out.
It was probably about a mile.
Probably a mile out on the beach. Lovely. Just beautiful.
And then came back on the park road. And it's a beautiful park. You know, they've got all sorts of in addition to the beach, they've got volleyball and sports areas like mm-hmm. that, and they also have a water slide and bumper cars. And bumper boats mm-hmm. and all sorts of things, and big playing fields for soccer and stuff. It's a great park. Mm-hmm. Anyways, we walked back through the park and went to the Sprig Fern, which is like a franchise thing. And I had a porter, and you had a wine.
I had wine. I think I had a rosé this time.
I think you had a rosé.
Yeah, and it was really good. the Sprig Fern is a bar, and they do brew their own beer.
Right.
So a lot of the beer is their own beer. So then we ordered there.
Right. I ordered a cheeseburger with double patties, and it came with a real dill pickle, not a sweet gherkin, not a beet, but a real dill pickle.
First one we've seen in New Zealand.
Right. And Terry,
I ordered something that sounded good. It was called a cheeseburger wrap, and it was made like in Vietnamese spring roll wrap paper. So it was fried and put inside of that, but it was supposed to have pickles and ketchup and all kinds of stuff in it. So it came, and it was awful. It just tasted like minced beef with no taste.
Yeah.
So anyway, I didn't eat much of it.
But
I did eat some of his.
Yeah. We also ordered
Mushroom fries.
mushroom fries.
What? We
Yeah.
couldn't resist.
They were thin sliced and breaded
And-
mushroom caps,
Yeah,
and they were deep fried,
yeah.
and you ate them like French fries.
Yeah, they had a little dip for them. And
It was
they
an
were
aioli.
delicious.
It was an aioli sort of dip.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was delicious. It was, for me, it was the best thing. Menu, which is the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we came back to.
Oh, and you shared our fries with some Canadians.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of a long story, but
Yeah.
there was a father and son that I ran into at the bar when I went in to order, that were riding motorcycles around New Zealand, and we had this discussion about what would mushroom fries really be, and so after it, and we left it at that. And so when Terry and I were eating and we had some of the mushroom fries, I just took the whole thing over and sat with them for a couple minutes while they ate some of our mushroom fries. They were from the coast of British Columbia. He said a 12-hour drive north of Vancouver. Yeah. So a really isolated place. I don't know what they did for a living up there. I didn't really ask them about that. I should have. Anyways, that was our day. We came back. We went to bed. We got up in the middle of the night, and the moon, which was almost full, was just streaming through the windows. And I came out and I just took a picture of it. So
It was lovely.
we'll have that to close off. Yeah.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.